Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my budget Crystal Beast Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-structure deck, Legend of the Crystal Beast. This is the budget version that you can make using just 3 of the Crystal Beast structure decks that we just got in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. A lot of you asked for a more budget version, like I said, that just uses the cards you get from it. So with it, you can get it for a pretty affordable price and still play what was meant to be a very, very fun Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck. And we got a good majority of the reprints in the Crystal Beast structure decks, so there shouldn't be any real Crystal Beast cards that you're missing. Obviously this will be before the advanced Crystal Beasts, which will be a deck all on their own as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the main deck monsters, what really didn't change are the actual original Crystal Beast numbers. We're still running the 3 Sapphire Pegasus, which just help with the initial search power of setting up the Crystal Beast monsters in your spell and trap card zone. So when this card is normal or special summon, you have that option with this card, so very, very useful. For the other Crystal Beasts, still running the 1 of, so 1 Ruby Carbuncle, 1 Amethyst Cat, 1 Emerald Tortoise, 1 Topaz Tiger, 1 Amber Mammoth, and 1 Cobalt Eagle. It's just all the necessities needed to summon out your main go-to boss monsters, whether they be Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive or the original Rainbow Dragon. You have all of these cards available to you to help with that, along with the additional Crystal Beast monster, which is Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, giving you a special summon on the field and being able to be placed in the spell and trap card zone as well. Is a very useful card, just putting a 3,000 attack point monster as a special summon when one declares an attack on your field, and then having the other destruction play, the fact that it means to be another Crystal Beast monster is very, very useful, because if you miss out on one of them, or if your opponent banishes one, you at least have the other different 7 Crystal Beast monsters to summon out your Rainbow Dragon with, which we are running 2 copies of this card as well. Just an easy special summon on the field and made readily available in the structure deck as well. Just 2 copies though, because if you open them up early game and you don't have all the means to get your Crystal Beast monsters out on the field, then it's sort of a dead draw in your hand, but still useful because you can at least use it to reveal in your hand for some of the other better spells we run, like Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. And I also run 2 Crystal Master for more search power. This card can just add a Crystal Beast monster or a Crystal Spell Trap from your deck to your hand, or even an Ultimate Crystal Monster by distributing it. I may even run 3 of this card. If you wanted to run a 3rd copy, you can either drop down the number of Rainbow Dragon or the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to a 3rd copy of Crystal Master. And then for the hand traps, I'm running 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. Now, the reason I run Dimension Shifter is because, 1, I ran Forbidden Droplet in the last deck profile. Dimension Shifter doesn't, affect the Crystal Beasts when they're destroyed, since they don't go to the graveyard to begin with. So you can activate this and hopefully disrupt some of your opponent's plays, since any card that they would send to the graveyard would be banished instead. So just a great card to have a quick effect to use on their turn and just shut down their plays, then go the following turn and hopefully have all your Crystal Beast plays to make. And then Ash Blossom just being the generic searcher that helps to stop any of the searches your opponent may try to do, or any of their graveyard setup. And that is it for the main deck monsters. Moving on now to the spells, I run 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. A continuous spell. During the main phase, you can normal summon 1 Crystal Beast monster in addition to your normal summoner set, and you can only gain this effect once per turn. You can only use each of the following effects of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart once per turn, and during your main phase, you can destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control or in your hand, and if you do, add 1 Crystal Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, even during the damage step, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and return that card and this card to the hand. So the return power and the search power for the Crystal Beast card for that setup, being able to add a Crystal Spell Trap, means you can even search out our next go-to card, which is Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates, just searching for a crystal. You can even search for Crystal Master off of the play, being able to add the Crystal Spell Trap thanks to your Rainbow Bridge of Heart. And then with that, you want to set up the Rainbow Dragon in your hand to then reveal and use with Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. If the Ultimate Crystal monster is on your field, you can activate both of these cards, but it's meant to search out the Rainbow Bridge, since we don't run Rainbow Refraction in this deck. It's more of a specific spell. Rainbow Bridge is just a searcher, and then being able to special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster card from your hand, graveyard, or spell and trap card zone, which even being able to summon out a 3,000 attack point monster from your spell and trap card zone can deal some pretty big damage against your opponent. And I also run the 3 Rainbow Bridge. It's a non-once per turn, add 1 crystal spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Very, very useful for the search. And then being able to add any of the other cards that I mentioned before for the name having crystal in it. And same going for Crystal Bond, which I'm also running 3 copies of. Just adding a Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your hand and placing 1 Crystal Beast monster with a different name from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone. And the destruction for your Crystal Beasts is all the better because then you have the setup to use with your other monsters. For the 1-ofs for the spell, still running the 1 Crystal Promise and the 1 Crystal Beacon. So you have the special summon power of both, whether it's from the spell and trap card zone like Crystal Promise, and then if you have 2 or more in your spell and trap card zone, just special summoning 1 with Crystal Beacon from your deck. So you can easily have that set up with the multiple spells that set up your spell and trap card zone, and then just getting out 1 additional one. And like I said before, Sapphire Pegasus is not a once per turn, so if you summon out another one, that can just get you another monster on the field also. And then for the traps, I'm running 4 different traps. So 1 copy of Crystal Miracle, 1 copy of Crystal Conclave, 1 Crystal Brilliance, and 1 Crystal Boon. You have all these different options available to you with these traps. Crystal Boon gives you a special summon and then life point gain. Crystal Brilliance giving you defense for the attack difference for your Crystal Beasts. So you can make them pretty strong working together with this card. Crystal Conclave for more setup and special summon along with bounce power. And Crystal Miracle being a counter trap. It can negate a card by destroying a crystal card that you control on the field as well. So you have protection and then the bounce power and then just attack boost and special summon power with each one of these traps, which all have crystal in their name. So they can all be searched via some of the other cards, including our Rainbow Bridge of Heart and also our Rainbow Bridge. And then since we're working with the structure decks for this deck profile, for the extra deck, I'm only running 3 copies of Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. Once again, you have the Banish Shuffle back power to special summon all your Crystal Beasts after tributing this card, and this card can also hit 11,000 attack on the field. So with it, it could be your potential game winner against your opponent, or if you need to get the Crystal Beast monsters back, you could just tribute it to get all of your banished ones back onto the field. You have to have a properly summoned Ultimate Crystal monster and the 7 Crystal Beast monsters banished to do so, but easily done once you set up the initial Crystal Beast play. And I also run 3 Rainbow Overdragon. Again, you don't need the fusion play for this card. You can just tribute an Ultimate Crystal monster to summon this one, and having the quicker play for your shuffle back power that the deck is meant to do. As for some of the go-to plays in the deck, once again, we have the setup that we can use with the Rainbow Bridge of Heart. During the main phase, you can normal summon 1 Crystal Beast monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So on top of being able to have 2 Sapphire Pegasus normal summons, you also have the play that after you set up 1 of the Crystal Beast monsters in the spell and trap card zone, you then have the play of during the main phase to destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control in your hand, or if you do, add 1 Crystal Beast trap or spell from your deck to your hand. So then it's one you control, so you can destroy the one that you set up with the Sapphire Pegasus, and then add the crystal card of choice. If you have the Ultimate Crystal monster in your hand, you can add and search the play for the Ultimate Crystal Ultimates, or you can search for Rainbow Bridge and then use Rainbow Bridge to search out any of the one-of traps that we run or any of the particular spells you may need, even using Crystal Bond to set up even more monsters. The big thing is just having all that setup needed to get all 7 Crystal Beast monsters on the field to then summon out your Ultimate Crystal monster, which then leads into you getting out your fusion monster of choice as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, this is just the budget version. If you're looking for the other deck profile that uses the Crystal Beast cards along with some of the other support from the other sets, you can look at the end of the video and you'll see that deck as well, along with the opening. But I hope you all enjoyed this budget version. I know some of you just purchased the Crystal Beast decks looking to give them a try. And this is definitely the deck to look into to see if you want to give the deck a shot and hope to invest with some of the other Crystal Beast cards we'll be getting in the future sets. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.